when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that.
Who's calling my phone? No, sorry.
Yes. Well, someone's calling your phone in a relationship and it's not the one you're with. That can cause problems. But now what can also cause problems is, it's gonna sound crazy, but being a step parent and what it entails, the responsibilities.
Come on, man. Okay.
Dang.
You know, like
Dang. Yes.
for those that are listening, watching, would you, given the choice, become a step parent?
Yes.
Yeah, you're saying yes.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna double down, and I'm gonna lean on no. Lean on no. You know,
You're looking a little stressed there.
you know, like, would you provide mentorship for? If you were to say yes, would you provide mentorship for?
Yes.
The
yes. The answer is always going to be yes.
For the child. I mean,
yeah. Because you know what? At the end of the day, first off, the child did not bring themselves here. That's one. Two, being somebody who they're going to be in the space or vicinity of, right? They also need to see that there are other adults in this world that will also take care of you that are not your parents. Right? So you don't have to have the like, it's just them growing up knowing that there are other people that will take care of them, right? Because then that also allows the idea of security and community, right? So there's that part.
But you ain't my mom.
Hey, man.
But the thing is, are your parents going to be the only one to teach you everything in this world? No. And that's a fact.
Right.
So you're going to learn a lot of things from other people. And sometimes that other parent, right, is going to also teach you things that your parents are not going to teach you.
Damn, the other parent? That's crazy. That's a title.
It is, because that's what they are. They're a step parent.
That's all. You have to say it again. I know that.
That's what it is. I don't know how to get like.
Oh no, the other parent.
Right.
Damn, that's crazy. That's a bar.
And even though, and then that's another thing
You got to
too.
go to the bar after that.
Right? Like,
drink yourself to a stepper. Don't do that. But anyways, sorry.
It's the same as like, what else? And then it's also the idea, like, some relationships don't work out. Like, what are you supposed to do? Demonize the fact that now your parent has actually found somebody else who's loving on them?
Damn, Babylon thing? I'm sorry, I'm being silly right now. Demonize, you said demonize. You know, you have to get the fire for that and to kill out the demon.
Can I open my third eye in this situation?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, if you really think about the term step parent, that means you are stepping into the parent role for the sake of the love of the partner you wish to be with. Unfortunately, some people don't want, like, what buns me with the step parenting is when I see the child get neglected, and you see, like, that kind of bun me in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? On both sides, I'll say it, because it's like, yo, or the step parent and the partner, step parent and then parent have a child, and they treat that child and leave the little, like, they leave the kid like to the side, like it's like, okay, this is your past, but this is what we're dealing with in the past. Like, you know what I mean? Where's the father or mother to take care of that? Like, that
is a thing.
I can't. I don't like that.
They get parents for, like, not parents. They get presents for
their kid,
and then they're like, "What about ours?" And it's like, their daddy can handle it. And it's like,
which is also something a lot of people. Yeah, like, on both sides, when you think of it, it's true. Because some people are like, that's not my responsibility, right? I did not bring them into this world. And therefore, why should they reap the benefits of whatever it is that I bring to my children?
Which is fair.
The benefits.
Right?
It's fair.
Right?
But at the same time, for me,
that's how some people look at it.
For me, it's just health. Like, what can be done to make the situation healthy? You see what I'm saying?
But the other part too, in those situations and scenarios, the same parent of that child is also not taking care of that kid. That's the part that bothers me. It's the fact that, okay, your kid with your current partner is getting what they need to get. How come you did not make sure your child from your previous relationship get what they need to get?
But I was on drugs.
I can't.
The way I see it, mind your pitney. Like,
and that's the biggest part.
That's the biggest part. No matter, even if you start a relationship, whatever, make sure your kid is in a healthy space. I feel like, that's just what it is. Like, you should make sure your kid's in a healthy space, whether it's they're living with you or not living with you. Because, like, I don't know, that's your creation. That's how I see it. And, they say that, you shouldn't favor a pitney or whatever, but at the same time, you should keep the peace and all that healthy. I know there's some people that were like, oh, I don't want to raise other people pitney and all that stuff. But, like...
And yet they were raised from other people.
That person came with a child.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That person came with a child. You see what I'm saying? And that child might be around. And you can't, like, slight the child because the child didn't ask for any of this. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, go back to the person that... Well,
go back to the person.
But at the same time, that's the person you chose. The person you chose. So it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And why does a kid have to suffer? I know people don't care about kids nowadays, but, like, come on now. Like, that's just how I feel.
Facts.
You can't be talking about relationship because, you know what I mean? That is your child. And if your child being treated a certain way, or even if you're with that person and the person has a child, you're going to have to, you know what I mean? Accommodate that. Yes, there might be more gifts you have to do. As long as the kid is okay, that's important to me. Kid and the partner is okay, that's important to me.
Right.
The danger is when it becomes a competition.
Which...
That's the part I think about, but that's the part that I don't know because I don't have no kids. Because next, the stepdad is bringing the PS5 and the real dad can't afford the PS5. Those are the things I'm like, oh, those are the issues. But that's where it's like, you're not my dad. Ooh, but
that's...
I understand that, but like...
That's what you're going to be like...
It just comes with it. You know what I mean?
Depending on your living arrangement, you got to be like, okay, that may be true, but like, if I tell your mom to leave the house, you go too. So, but you're going to have to kind of like listen to me still. And I mean, I don't know what, like.
And then some people, they'll be like, hey, the child is not listening to my stepdad, so he has to live with you. Like, these things happen. Stepmom don't like the child in the picture. So she's doing everything to say that the child's bad to send them away. It happens. And I feel like that's not healthy. I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, I was watching something with a streamer, like Phantom. Like he had a story time one time when like something with his stepmom, like there's an issue there. They're good now, but back when he was growing up in a Dominican Republic, and like there were issues. They were like, there was a little favoritism, right? And dad had to talk to the mom one day and be like yo, like fix up, like this is your child too, right? So yeah, I mean, I hear that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because
I'm still leading on no though.
I have half siblings, right? So that's also part of the reason why, like, I look at it where it's like I was raised with some of my half siblings, right? They had lived with us for a bit. We never lived with my half siblings' parents though.
Oh,
it was always the other way around. They came to us. So that's to say, like, my mom was the one who was open. And she was the one where it's like, if you're under my care, you're my kid. Like, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure there's food, there's shelter, there's whatever. You're going to learn the same things that I'm disciplining my kids about. You're not going to do certain things in this house the same way I would do with my children. Like, these are the things. And they all end up being great people. So it's like, and they all look at my mom and be like, yo, your mom is really great. Like, she's actually really awesome. So it's one of those things like that. I think is also kind of a character thing as a person. Right? Because, like, how come we don't consider our teachers our step parents in some form? They are basically taking care of you more times of the day than your actual parents or your step parents.
It depends. It depends on the teacher. Like, my model, like, is like, for the teachers' names I remember, those are the ones that, like, they get a thumbs up forever.
Yeah.
The ones I don't remember,
For me, community is important. in that sense. Like I guess parents taught me, but when my parents were around, I don't want to be like the streets taught me, but like people that I knew in the area was not like streets, but like
You got an uncle or auntie.
Someone, everybody knew each other in the community. So I'd be like, hey boy, where you upon the road? Come off on the road.
That's but you'll hear that quickly.
And then it's like,
especially on Egg Wash.
like they don't. There's that type of guidance.
You'll
is
hear
not,
that quickly. Like,
that guidance is not there anymore. So these things are just running out. Like you know to wise up because this person knows you're a parent. Sometimes me going to Northfields on a Saturday, I'm afraid because I knew I did something this week, and if that person saw me with my parent. You're a little boy, blah, blah, blah. And it's close. But
I don't miss those. I'm a little biased. I don't miss those days at all.
but yeah.
No, he's walking up to me. Oh, no, they're talking. Oh.
Those are definite traumas.
Yo, that's what?
That's worse than a parent-teacher interview because they could be filtered. That's the, you know what I mean? They'll be like, yo, I seen your pitney. This is you.
Man, what are you telling? Oh, I was going to say a scenario, same topic. What happens now where you develop a great relationship with the child as a step-parent? The relationship goes haywire. Things fall apart. And now it's just like, ooh, it'd be weird if I just continued contacting the kid if me and the parent broke up, right?
That is something, I feel like that's optional.
Yeah.
That's optional. But that's something, that issue of the disappearance is that parent has to go talk to the child and sort that out. You have a choice if you want to talk to the child or not want to talk to the child.
Right.
Like, but at the end of the day, she has to sort that out.
He or she.
Or he or she. Yeah. Yeah. It's not only she.
Because another example of a show I used to listen to, he was in a relationship with someone, brought in the kid, and he wasn't getting along with the woman. So one day according to him, it was a heartbreaking thing. Like he packed up all his stuff one day and he said, yo, I'm leaving. And then I think the daughter at the time was like 14, 15, and she's like, where are you going? And he's like, yeah, I'm leaving. And she's like, no, you're serious, you're leaving? And he's like, yo, me and your mother's just not getting along, and da-da-da-da. And he said from the time he told the story, he still thinks about she's a good person to raise, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And but yet, because there's friction with the mom, right?
Yeah, but that comes with,
and it's not really his kid either, so it's just like,
should he have? Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that's how some people feel even in their own relationships with their own kids.
I mean, that
unfortunately,
some people feel that way. Like, do I continue to have this great relationship with my child even though you're obligated?
I mean, you are obligated. Like,
it's optional. That choice is yours.
Like,
right? But like certain things, yes. Like the parent is gonna have to be the main one to help that or bring sense of understanding to that.
Right.
But like the person, hey, if they leave for whatever reason, it's not like an obligation. I don't believe so.
Unless it's a situation where the person is aware of the parent and the parent's neglecting and they have a difference of opinion on the way that they're raising the kid.
Yeah, that's where it makes it optional in some sense. You know what I mean? Some people don't care. They'll be like, well, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. But at the end of the day, like,
I just feel it's like, especially the post itself. The guy was such a hypocrite. That was my personal
because he was talking about his stepdad.
Yeah, like it's like the fact that, and it's the use of language when he was like, "I'm not out here gonna raise some next man's bastard." Like, wow,
that is a name.
That's a wild thing.
And but then you are that, pill. Like, you were that.
The red pill thing is a real thing.
Like,
when I say it's a real thing, man, they're going on like, yo, you're not talking about your girl, where your girl have you running around washing drawers. Like, it is crazy. You see what I'm saying? People are going on like they're this, doing that, and unfortunately,
bravado.
You are not who you are. You come to work, you're macho, or you come to this area, you're macho, and it doesn't go the way it goes.
The internet is not a real place.
And that's what it is.